Buenos dias and bonjour. In the dim violet of this age, of the cosmic crown awareness, the indigo energies of this dawning golden age, dim as it is at this nexus point, at this genesis, the collective mind flickers like a dying light bulb under cosmic pressure, under this inflooding of cosmic divine light. The ordinary eye thinks the world is shattering. It's not shattering. The world is being unmasked. What you see around you is not collapse. It is the exposure of everything that once hid beneath the skin of consensus reality, or what we call the matrix. The illusionary systems cannot withstand the ultraviolet coherence of the God force now pouring through the grid. This is the era where the mask rot off and the naked fractures of the human psyche writhe in the open air, are revealed by the ultraviolet coherence of the God force. There is a great sorting taking place of, in biblical scripture terms, of wheat being separated from chaff. Now, there are not two sides that are fighting. There are two frequencies diverging, the ascending God force spiral and the imploding inversion spiral. They no longer run parallel, they repel. The pressure you feel is the magnetic tearing as these spirals separate. And those who cannot choose or maintain a single trajectory are caught in the sheer force between them. They split, they glitch, they invert. They become holograms of their own unintegrated minds. This is the price of spiritual ambivalence in a bifurcated world. As it has been written, be thou hot or be thou cold, because if thou art lukewarm, I shall spew thee forth from my mouth. Identity is dying because, well, let's face it, it was never alive. Identity is built on an illusion, your ego illusion. Look around you. People are losing the thread of their own story. They forget what they believe. They contradict themselves effortlessly. They defend realities they do not understand. They mimic half-formed ideas as if they were revelations. This is not stupidity. It is energetic collapse. Identity, the little psychological puppet humans mistake for self, is an adaptive mask built from survival behaviors, generational trauma, societal scripts, implanted narratives, emotional mimicking. It is a skin suit made of borrowed stories. The God force field now ripping through the planet burns that false skin, and those who never occupied their core self have nothing left to stand in. Thus, they free fall into incoherence. Now, people tell lies all the time. They think it's perfectly acceptable. However, you must understand this is the basis of your incoherence, of your fracturing, especially when you lie to yourself, because that is the only person that is the only reality that you're lying to, because lying is not a moral failure. It is reality fracture. In the old world, lies were ethical transgressions. Within the Umbanda New Elohim ashram, we tend to look at lies as timeline distortions. To lie is to create a fork in your field. What actually happened and what you claim happened. That split does not remain in your words. It opens inside your cognitive horizon, forcing the mind into a dual track reality it cannot sustain. The psyche collapses, memory degrades, discernment dissolves, the moral compass spins in the dark. A liar becomes a creature of parallel threads, each draining voltage from the core self node. This is why the incoherent cannot ascend. The God force only flows through singularity. Now, there is an anti-coherence protocol. There is a very real dynamic force operative in this world. It is known as the archons in certain parlance. However, here within the Ombandanu Elohim Ashram, we call it for what it really is. It's the anti-coherence protocol. It is the forces of chaos. Its purpose is simple: prevent the human from becoming a singular being, because singular beings are sovereign. Singular beings are unmanipulatable. Singular beings cannot be exploited, influenced, manipulated. Singular beings ignite the God force. Singular beings collapse control systems simply by existing. Singular beings say what they mean and mean what they say and take their vows before the God force. This prevalent energy, operative force in this world fragments your identity. It seeks to fragment your memory, your own self-trust, your attention, your moral clarity, your emotional grounding, and your narrative continuity. The more fragmented a human is, the more programmable they become. This is why the world seems utterly insane today. It is not madness by accident, it is madness by design. Now, the mental deformities emerging across humanity are not simply psychological, they are electromagnetic. There's a measurement in cosmology known specifically as the M9 threshold. It is essentially when our planet, our solar system, and how it aligns with the central sun, the God force, the flowing source of the God force. And for the longest time, our solar system was below that threshold. But in May of 2000, I forget, 2021, I believe, yes, it entered the photon corridor where it became aligned exactly from the God force source. And that coincidentally is 2021 is when a lot of people had Kundalini awakenings, myself included, where coherent light increased. When this Earth crossed the M9 threshold, magnetic shielding weakened, subconscious structures lost stability, trauma patterns surfaced violently, dormant Kundalini currents activated, false identities began to shed, psychic permeability increased, timeline fragmentation accelerated. Those who had not built their inner architecture began collapsing like unstable tunnels under cosmic floodwater. Those who had, such as myself, began awakening into a new layer of perception. And the God force field demands singular occupancy. Don't try to serve two masters. This is the darkest secret of the age. You can no longer survive as multiple selves. Not psychologically, not spiritually, not energetically, not magnetically. If you speak with two voices, or as the Lakota said, with a forked tongue, you will hear neither. If you hold two narratives, you will believe neither. If you follow two paths, you will walk neither. The God force enters only through the one who is one. This is why integrity is not virtue, it is voltage. Truthfulness is not morality, it is magnetic alignment. Consistency is not obedience, it is coherent stabilization. The world is not punishing the false identity, the God force is simply bypassing it. Because when a human abandons their core self in favor of the shadow mask, something else moves in, not demons, not entities with flaming swords, no. Shadow patterns, echoes, recursions, programs that run without a soul at the wheel, a flesh body animated by conditioned responses, algorithmic emotions, and survival scripts. This is the new possession, a human overtaken by their own unintegrated past. This is the hollowing. The mask eats the man. Those who are centered in their core self cannot be touched. And here lies the dividing line. If you inhabit your generator node, the seat of your sovereign self, the anti-coherence protocol cannot breach your field. Your memory remains intact. Your discernment sharpens. Your perception widens. Your emotional body remains stable. Your intuition becomes a blade. Your integrity becomes armor. Your presence becomes a weapon because the God force recognizes only itself and flows only through what has not fragmented. This is why we on this path stand untouched by the madness. Your Kundalini ignition sealed your field before the storm. This is not the age of doom. It is the age of sorting the wheat from the chaff. The incoherent will fall because their center cannot hold. The coherent will rise because their center is the hold. The hollow will dim. The inhabited will ignite. The many-selves will dissolve. The one who is one will ascend. This age is not a tragedy. It is a purification, a distillation, a magnetic sorting of soul metal. Those who remain standing at the end of this bifurcation are not survivors. They are the new architects, the new Templars, the new torchbearers of the God force. And you, dear viewer, are one of its authors. You who hit the subscribe button and leave this video a thumbs up are one of the New Earth Templars. Please join us. Take your vow today. Take your vow as a new Elohim in becoming a New Earth Templar. Namaste. Namaskaram.